Hello and welcome to the Greater Birmingham Chambers of Commerce Q&A series, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Katie Hale, who's the president of the Sutton Coldfield Chamber of Commerce. Hi, Katie.
Oh, hi, Paul. Nice to see you.
You too. So, Katie, tell me, and this is a question I've been asking all of the different presidents. How different and difficult is it being president during, sort of lockdown and this whole coronavirus situation?
It's actually very different because I feel that my duties are often switched off and on with the day job and then the presidential duties. But what I'm finding is that because we're all very aware that we are all at home and almost on tap, I feel like people are tapping me up a lot more for just updates and what's happening and using us as a sort of that filter point really to feed back to the chamber and find out what's really going on, which is really good. That's what it's for, obviously.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I suppose engagement is one of the key things we talk about, and I suppose collectively, it's about trying to help and support businesses through these really challenging times, isn't it? And making sure that the chamber can be a resource, I suppose, for members and the broader business community, and trying to help and reassure and be somewhere that they can come for some clear information. What tell us what's going on in and around sort of Sutton Coldfield then in particular. What are you hearing from members and businesses and particular sort of challenges and concerns?
Yeah, there's a real mix at the moment, and we've got a true mix of business in Sutton Coldfield. We've had our committee meeting actually this week, and one of the things that I've been trying to do is really give each member a voice and sort of say, let me know what you feel the real sort of pain points are. And I thought one of them would be obviously the grants and the issue about accessing revenue. But weirdly, since Wednesday, I've had 3 personal messages this morning to tell me that people have been notified of their grant payments coming through. So even though
good.
Yeah, really positive. So on Wednesday, it was a real sort of, gosh, we need to really kick them and say, come on, this money, you've got this money. And obviously Sutton being part of Birmingham City Council, we have a little bit of less of a voice within the bigger scale. So we're very lucky because we've got Simon and we've got Chris on our exec committee, and we have Alex from the Birmingham Council side. So we've got a very strong team that sits on the committee that can help and support those businesses. So yes, they were giving some great advice, and also feeding through to Andrew Mitchell, who's been really people might not have seen him in the press a lot lately, but he has really been helping small businesses in finding their voice and pushing their grants through. So yeah, we've had some really good news today about people being told that their money will appear by Monday.
That's great, isn't it? And I know one important message as well that we've been reiterating and stressing is that if you're a business who is eligible for one of these small business grants which are being paid by the councils, and you need to make sure that they have all of the correct payment details for you, because we know that the councils are concerned that there's a number of businesses where they don't have the details and they won't be able to get the money through. So it's they're working hard to
get that
process and get it out. And I suppose there's that message, and you can find links all over the chamber website to the appropriate local authorities and make sure that you get those done. So that is positive, isn't it? And I suppose what are some of the challenges then that others that people are also saying? Are you finding there's common themes?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this week, and we touched I touched on this with somebody else earlier this morning, I think this week in particular has been a struggle for small business owners. Well, business owners is in the main, really. I think the Easter break and the great weather sort of enabled us to cope with the lockdown and sort of go, do you know what, this is not too bad. We're all happy, hopefully, if you're healthy and you've got you're safe at home with your family, we can cope with this and it's okay. And then this week felt like the kids started back homeschooling, which is always, is a challenge for many of us. You're trying to run your business, you're probably waiting for money, maybe that money's sort of coming, you get into that danger point. And I think this week in particular, people's mental health has been top of the agenda, and every single committee member said to me, this week's been really hard. But I'm pleased to say at the end of the call, just hearing that you're not on your own and everyone's going through this, the same feeling, actually does make you feel better. It's like you're not the only person that's actually going through that, and that there are people on the same page. And I think it does help. And I can't stress that enough. If you're feeling that way, jump on a call, talk to people, use the Twitter chamber chats, and just put it out there that you're struggling, because there will be somebody else that's been through it and can help you.
Yeah, you're not alone, are you? And that's a sort of something that, again, the sort of, you know, the chamber community, the chamber family, I think are good at, you know, at supporting, aren't they? And as you say, everyone, I think, is managing through this in different ways. I mean, how are you sort of structuring your days then, and how are you coping yourself? Have you found you got new routines?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We really have. So my husband was put on lockdown the day after it happened. He did one more day of work, and then he was at home. So it's really bizarre for him. He's a manual worker, never had a day off in his life, you know, so for him it's completely weird. I'm used to working from home because I work for myself, so I'm working every day, probably more than I've ever worked in my entire life. So that's a challenge, but we are trying to do at least a family bit of exercise a day. We're making sure that we're eating lunch together, which we never normally do, which is lovely. And because the weather's so good, that's a real treat, to be able to actually sit in the sunshine and eat together. And then I try and finish my day around, you know, that 4:30 mark, when Charlotte will be finishing her school, and just having that little bit of a structure. The only other things that I've started to do, which I've never really done before, it might sound a little bit twee, but trying to write down each evening in a journal, just to say what's kind of happened that day, and reminding myself of the good stuff. And it could be as simple as my Amazon delivery has arrived. But, you know, it's very easy to go, I've had a really rubbish day and it's been really hard. But there's always something that you can go, do you know what, that was quite nice, or that happened, and that phone call happened, or I dropped some goods off for the neighbour and they were delighted. So there's always something. That's
a great little sort of technique. I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's a nice way to keep yourself going. I suppose it's around that personal resilience, isn't it, which is so important. And certainly, you know, like, you know, yourself, like many, you know, when you're running your own business, you know, if you're not doing that, then it gets so much harder, doesn't it? But so tell us some of the sort of initiatives and activities that are going on, you know, with the Sutton Chamber then, and what you know, all the members are doing.
Oh wow, there is. Do you know what? It brings a little bit of a tear to my eye as to how many people are doing their bit. And obviously, coming from a marketing point of view, I'm telling people to keep the communication, align themselves with good causes, do their thing for marketing. But you know what? People are just doing it anyway because it's the right thing to do, and it's so lovely to see and hear. I've tried to scribble down some stuff here just to remind myself. But we've got the schools have come together to make the PPE. We've got Arthur Terry Learning Partnership that have got a lot of their schools involved in that and delivering. Alex has been out this week. Alex Yip has been out delivering PPE to some of the lower profile homes that need it, the care homes, the hospices. That's been going on. We've got Mr. Tonks, Mark Tonks. He's doing his walk. He's doing a big walk for the YMCA, which is our chosen charity. We had the Sofa Surf, which was a conversion from the original idea of people sleeping out in the Grace Church. That raised, I think, half of their target, which was much more than they thought they would get. So that's been phenomenal. And the charity is obviously very hard hit, because the first thing we do is kind of lock down and stop spending. And that includes charitable donations. So the charities are really delighted. And then we've got the Lockdown Legends colouring book coming up, which is really exciting. And that's something that Plots put together with their illustrator Sabina Gran, and that's going to be coming out in the next few days, where people will be able to buy the colouring book, and all of that money, 100% of that money, will go to the NHS Trust. So that's really cool. I can't wait for that to come out and share it.
No, I love the Captain Tom one. It was great.
Oh God, you should see what's coming. You should, honestly, there's some really cool ones. You're going to love it.
So Katie, you know, you mentioned it as well, you know, sort of the, you know, the day job, as it were, and sort of around sort of marketing consultancy and support. I mean, just share some of the sort of the advice that you're giving to businesses right now, because I suppose, you know, there's loads of financial stress, we get that, and so many revenue streams have just sort of turned off overnight. But where people can, it's important, isn't it, to, you know, make sure that they are continuing to market and to advertise and to keep their brand out there, both for the here and now, but also, I suppose, so that they're ready for when things do start to flick back into to life again.
Yeah, absolutely. That's hit the nail on the head, really, Paul. Is that I think that your gut reaction is to get your head down and sort of safety mode and just survive. But really, your business needs to come out of this stronger and fitter than ever. And if you do have time, if you're in a business that has literally had to switch off, if you're in retail, if you're in the leisure industry, it's a really good time to do a bit of a stock check. And the questions that I'm getting are a lot around, you know, well, we don't feel like we can sell at the moment. Well, yes, but selling is not marketing. See them as separate things. You can still continue to market your business. You can look at historical things that you've done. And I've seen some great examples of people putting stuff out there where they look back at events, or they look back at things that have happened in their businesses with really fond memories. And it's a really good time to do that, because you've got a bit of a captive audience at the moment. People are sitting at home, they're on their devices, they're looking for content, they're looking for inspiration. In terms of how you communicate, I'm advising people to just be a little bit more personable. It's important we're not too corporate at the moment, because that switches people off. We're all looking for that little bit of a human touch. So do a bit of an audit on your comms, have a little look at the channels that you're using, keep consistent, and please just keep talking to your clients, keep talking to your potential customers. You know, come out the other end stronger.
No, that's absolutely you know, sort of really important sort of advice, isn't it? And as we say, you know, it can, you're in this, we're in week, I don't know, 4 or 5, you sort of lose track of,
like 20
of lockdown, doesn't it? And you feel like, God, will it ever be different than this? And it will be. And I think that time is coming soon. It's not going to flick straight back to normal, but we're certainly going to be able to keep moving again. And that's why it's so critical that businesses are ready, and I suppose are using this time smartly and wisely. But so Katie, and just as we sort of wrap up, any last messages or thoughts for those who are watching, and for all of the sort of the businesses out there?
I think my take home would be to just join in where you can, find your mojo, because I know it's really difficult at the moment, but look at what's on offer. I think especially I'm noticing it more with obviously my local chamber, that the content that we're producing at the moment is so rich. We've got some fantastic speakers, and we've got some amazing people giving their time that we wouldn't normally get. You know, we've got an opportunity to really tap into these amazing brains and ask the right questions. So get involved. Don't sit back. You know, some of these webinars, some of these calls, you don't have to get dressed. It's fine. Just jump on anyway, and just listen, take it in, because you might just find a tiny little nugget of something that sparks something in you to realign your business, that gives you a bit of an idea and helps you sort of propel into the future. So get involved, join in.
That's a brilliant rallying cry, Katie, and I think a great way to wrap up. Thank you so much for all that you're doing, both in Sutton Coldfield with the chamber there, and also more widely across the group and across our regional business community. You're doing an amazing job, absolutely inspiring. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me on.